Pisces, hello my darlings, how are you? Welcome to your reading for the week of the 18th of July 2022, or whenever you see it. I don't have rules. If you want to watch this in a year's time, that's fine too. So whenever you are drawn to, whenever you find me, welcome. Hi. Look, I'm going to be drawing a card out from the Chakra Insight Oracle deck. And then one from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, and from the Rider-Waite Tarot. Thank you, guys. We are taking that one. And they will be our central theme for the week. And then we'll jump into the main body of the reading with the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris-Anne. Your card for the week, my darlings, is pleasure. Oh, lovely. Enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. Oh, come on in, Pisces. Hello, that's gorgeous. Let's hope we can keep those beautiful, lovely, warm, pleasuring energies going with the rest of the reading. Let's see. Thank you. Which goddess would like to speak to you today, my friends? Vesta, home. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. Okay, all right. So this feeling of pleasure, sensuality, indulgence may well be happening in the home for you, or in a new home, or a better home, a healthier home. Okay, and we have the Hierophant. Okay, interesting. All right. The first thing that's coming through, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe for some of our Pisces out there, I do feel if this change in home situation or a healthy change in the occupants of the home, I do feel like this could be some kind of commitment between two people that may be moving in together, and maybe they are enjoying this idea of a newfound pleasure in a relationship. So that is a potential that's coming in for some of my Pisces. Okay, as I said, I am using the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris-Anne. As always, I have called in my guardians, guides, angels, and ancestors who love me unconditionally and are of the highest vibration. I do invite you to do the same if you're so drawn, but you do not have to. I have obviously, in my intention, asked that you be connected in and divinely protected as well. The energy coming in at the start of the week for you is the High Priestess energy. So that's a really beautiful space to come in with. In terms of blocks or obstacles, is the Knight of Cups. Interesting. I don't always read these cards in terms of the position in the layout as such. They can just relate to an overall message and interrelate to each other. So we will take it as it resonates. I wouldn't ordinarily think of the Knight of Cups as a block or obstacles card. I have done other readings this week, particularly where the readings were so good that that there had to be a card in that position, and so all of the cards were good. So let's just see, that may well be the case for yourselves as well. The Justice card is the next card out. That's in terms of a surprise or a gift or a strength for you this week. In terms of your health, you have the Page of Wands. Okay, so it's looking like a really lovely, strong reading so far. The next card out is for relationships. Thank you, guys. We have the Six of Swords. Okay. Next card out is career, finances, resources, etc. You have the Knight of Pentacles. See if I can get him to focus. Come on, you can do it. No? All right. We'll come back to that one. And the final card is going to be the card that indicates potential energies to come, or energies as we move out of the week. It has gone on the floor, so I just need to wrestle my way under the table to find it. Oh, Okay. It was worth it. The Queen of Wands. Okay. Right. So let's break this down. It's interesting because I am still feeling like that initial message that came through, that change, maybe a change in the home environment, could be relating to a marriage or some sort of commitment, maybe some people moving in together. You know, this particular Hierophant card, the Rider-Waite, it's a very kind of old-fashioned idea of, you know, this idea of the structures that we have around us, the idea of marriage and contracts and things like that. I feel like, you know, there's some other Hierophant cards that have come through in some more modern decks that I personally relate to a lot better, because I feel like it's a little bit of an antiquated idea of this support or this structure or this system that we continually go to, because things have evolved and shifted so much as we've learnt and grown and understand so much more. So, you know, like, I love using the traditional Rider-Waite, but this is probably one of the cards that I really struggle with, because I just feel like it's a little outdated in terms of the messaging. But in any case, in a traditional sense, it can sometimes indicate that idea of, you know, systems or structures that are in place, and it can often be a marriage or a contract or something like that. And because it has come in with this change in home environment with this sensuality card, I am still getting the sense that for some of my Pisces, that it could be some kind of change in relationship, like a leveling up of a commitment in a relationship, which is changing that home environment, bringing in that pleasure. Because we do have that Knight of Cups, and I will kind of stand by what I said before about it, you know, not necessarily being an obstacle or a block. But if we just ignore that and look at it in position with the other cards around it, it is an indication that there's potentially some romance coming in. And, you know, with that pleasure card, it's that idea of enjoying those, you know, those moments of pleasure, I guess, you know. And even if you are a solo Pisces and you remain solo for the week or the next coming weeks or whenever you're watching this, that romance that comes in, that sensuality and pleasure that is indicated in this card, is something that we can always do for ourselves. We don't always need a partner to be providing that nourishment and romance, if you will, to ourselves. So it can look, you know, look very different to, you know, everyone, but it could be a long bubble bath with candles. You know, it could be, you know, sitting out the back in the sun and doing a pot of tea, you know, pot of chai tea ritual or something like that. So it's about stopping and enjoying those pleasures, and it doesn't necessarily have to be pleasure in terms of a romance, you know, two people coming together. So do take that how it resonates, because I am getting the sense that I'm talking to some Pisces who are in a committed relationship or leveling up, and I'm also talking to maybe some single Pisces who can romance themselves, and this Six of Swords is in the position of relationship. So there may be some of my Pisces friends that are watching that are either transitioning out of a relationship or transitioning their current relationship into a new stage. And, you know, this Six of Swords card, if we do look at it in the traditional sense, it is moving from, you know, and this isn't obviously not a good indication because there's a lot of liberties taken. I don't know what's happened to my light there. Come on. There's a lot of liberties taken in this card because the traditional Rider-Waite Six of Swords has the boat moving through from rough waters into smooth waters. And it is this idea of transitioning energy from, you know, turbulent times into smoother times, but you are, the whole way you're being divinely protected and guided along your journey. And it's the other thing about the Six of Swords is it's not a final destination card. It's a transition card. So you've still got a part of the journey to go. So as I said, it could be some of my Pisces could be transitioning completely out of a relationship. I don't necessarily see it that way. I feel like it could be this transition into a change in the home environment relating to that relationship possibly. But yeah, do take it how it resonates. Beautiful. All right. The energy coming in to the week is the High Priestess. So I feel like this is quite a potent card for you this week. And I say that because at the time of this reading, we had the super full moon only 2 days ago. It was essentially still around yesterday or last night. And we're on the back end of it now. And from what I can understand in the early days of this super full moon is that it was pretty powerful in terms of intuitive messages and dreams, signs, ascensions, upgrades, etc. That I'm not sure if it was just a coincidence that it happened at that time of the super full moon, but certainly there is indication to suggest that there has been kind of this leveling up almost in the last couple of days. So you may find whenever you're watching this that you can relate to that on some level, that you have felt in the last few days and moving forward into the, you know, looks like moving forward into the week, is this idea of the veil being a lot thinner, of us being able to connect into those intuitive messages, those that wisdom and guidance, that tapping into the other side, if you will, a lot easier. As I said, it feels like that veil is very thin and that we're able to receive that intuitive guidance a lot easier. Okay, the Justice card is sitting in the position of surprises or gifts or strength this week. This particular Justice card speaks a lot about karmic justice, and I feel like because there's a little bit of a theme here, I think, in terms of relationships. So I feel like this this karmic justice could be around relationships for you this week. So it could come as a surprise potentially, but I feel like it's more leaning into the aspect of a strength, and it's recognizing that the shifting of this karmic balance, where it comes into a place where there is equal give and take, where maybe even with this sensuality card, this pleasure card, that maybe, sorry, it's not very bright, apologies with that. Maybe there has been times in relationships in the past where you have felt like you haven't received or haven't been on the receiving end of that pleasure and sensuality and indulgence and beauty and love and all that good stuff. So this Justice card may well come as a surprise, that if you're in a relationship, that it's like that High Priestess. It's, like I said, it's a leveling up, and it's kind of like there is this karmic balance that has been brought to the relationship where it's evened out, and you can now be on the receiving end of that pleasure, and you can receive it maybe without the word that's coming through is guilt. So there's, I don't know, I mean, I guess I do kind of know why you might feel guilt around receiving pleasure. It's not guilt, it's more that you haven't felt comfortable receiving that pleasure because you've always been the giver in the past. So it's kind of like that's the position that you've always known, is for you to be the giver of pleasure. So for you to have this karmic balance shift and for you to be a receiver of this pleasure may be a little bit challenging for you, but it's a lovely opportunity to invite that in for you this week. All right, happy days. The Page of Wands is in the position this week of your health, and that's body, mind, and soul, or body, mind, and spirit. So, you should be feeling very energetic, very vibrant, full of passion, full of vigor and youth and excitement. In terms of spirituality, spiritual health, mental health, again, feeling very almost enlightened and excited about what your future has in store. You might have all these brilliant ideas that are dropping into you in terms of your mental health, in terms of your spiritual health. You're excited about what the future holds. Okay, I have spoken about that Six of Swords energy, that transitionary energy with the in the position of your relationships. I do feel like it's not an ending of sorts. I do feel like there may be some shifts, some transitions in relationships, and it's still going forward, but if we look at it past a one-on-one or one-on-two, however you run your relationships, that's fine, no judgment. But if we look at it past, say, romantic relationships, I feel like also it's in relation to other broader relationships. So family, workmates, friends, that sort of thing. It's this transitioning energy where you almost, I see you kind of discarding challenging relationships that don't resonate with you, relationships that don't spark joy, and I see you kind of sailing away from them, if that makes sense. Okay, we do have the Knight of Pentacles is the next card out, and it's in the position of your career and finances. This is a really good card. It's very reliable, dependable, strong, stable. It does indicate to me that in terms of your career, finances, etc., that you should be feeling pretty solid, pretty stable, pretty secure in this area. So nothing really to highlight there. It's it's really neither here nor there. The Knight of Pentacles can indicate an energy coming towards you too in terms of a romantic energy. You do have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, in the opposing corners here. But because that Knight of Pentacles rather, is in the position of career, finances, resources, etc., it does feel like it's more of an indication of how your career and finances look, and they look stable. With that Knight of Pentacles, it's a very stable energy. So it could be that energy coming towards you, as I said, but it really doesn't feel like it. Yeah, so I'm just going to sit with that because I do feel like that's the case. The energy of future possibilities moving out of the week is the Queen of Wands. So this is a lovely, strong energy to take out of the week moving forward. It's an energy that says that you're going to move forward with this strong sense of, integrity, strong sense of truth and bravery and courage and knowing who you are, extremely passionate. And it may well be that this opening up of, allowing yourself to receive pleasure puts you in this place where you're feeling extremely confident and passionate and excited about moving forward. So, excuse me, it is all good, my darling friends. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. If you have, please do like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, my friends, bye-bye.